At exactly 11:47 p.m., every radio in Black Hollow turned on by itself. No power, no signal, no explanation. And deep inside the forest, something started broadcasting. The signal discovery. Black Hollow was not a place people visited. It was a place people avoided. Hidden deep between endless forests and forgotten roads, it barely appeared on maps. Even when it did, it looked incomplete, like something was erased on purpose. Locals had one rule: never go near the old radio tower after midnight. Most people treated it like superstition. Jake Morrison didn't. Jake was a documentary YouTuber, not famous, not successful, just desperate. His channel was dying, views were dropping, sponsors were gone, and desperation makes people ignore warnings. So when he heard rumors about a signal in the forest that appears only at night, he decided to investigate. Black Hollow welcomed him with silence. No birds, no wind, no sound at all. That should have been the first warning. Jake arrived at 11:30 p.m. and set up his camera. At exactly 11:47 p.m., something strange happened. His handheld radio turned on by itself. Static filled the air. Then a voice came through. Not clear, not stable, but human enough to understand. Finally, someone heard us. Jake froze. He looked around. "Hello? Who is this?" The radio responded instantly. "You are late." Jake laughed nervously. "This is some kind of prank, right?" But then, his phone lost signal. His GPS stopped working. Even his camera audio became unstable. Only the radio worked now, and it was broadcasting coordinates deep inside the forest. Against his better judgment, Jake followed the signal. The deeper he walked, the quieter everything became. No insects, no animals. Even the air felt wrong, like the forest was holding its breath. After nearly an hour of walking, he saw it. A radio tower. Massive, rusted, forgotten. Standing in the middle of nowhere without any power lines, yet the signal was coming from it. Inside the structure, everything was decayed. Dust-covered consoles, broken wires, old speakers hanging from the ceiling. But one system was still active, the main transmitter. Jake smiled. "This is it. This is going to blow up my channel." He turned on the radio console. At first, only static, then a whisper. "You shouldn't be here." Jake stepped back. "Who's there?" The voice responded. "We were sleeping." Suddenly, the temperature dropped. The lights flickered, and behind Jake, something moved. But when he turned around, nothing was there. At least, nothing he could see. His camera, however, captured something different. A tall shadow standing directly behind him, close enough to touch. Jake didn't notice. The radio began repeating, "Disconnect the signal. Disconnect the signal. Disconnect the signal." And then, everything went black. The next morning, the YouTuber was gone. But his camera was still recording. And what it captured inside that forest changed everything. The next morning, Jake was gone. The only thing left behind was his camera, still recording, still working. Authorities dismissed it as a missing person case, until they watched the footage. Something was wrong in the final minutes. Jake wasn't running. He wasn't screaming. It looked like he was listening to something no one else could hear. Sheriff Daniel Carter took the case. He didn't believe in paranormal stories. He believed in facts, evidence, logic. But Black Hollow challenged everything he knew. When Daniel arrived, his radio started acting strangely. Then his compass spun uncontrollably. And the forest, it felt different, too still, too aware. He reached the radio tower with his team. The door was open. That was impossible. It had been sealed for decades. Inside, everything looked recently used, too clean for something abandoned, as if someone had been maintaining it. The main radio console turned on by itself, and the voice returned. "You brought another listener." Daniel raised his flashlight. "Identify yourself." Silence. Then, every radio in his team activated at once. A countdown appeared. 10, 9, 8. One officer panicked. "This is impossible. This system isn't connected to anything." The forest outside changed. Trees shifted subtly, not moving with wind, but moving on their own, like breathing. Daniel ordered everyone to retreat, but the exit was gone. Every path led back to the tower, over and over, a loop. One officer screamed, "The forest is rewriting itself!" The radio voice returned calmly. "You cannot leave the broadcast." The countdown continued. When the countdown reached 0, reality itself stopped working. Phones froze, screens turned black, and something inside the signal woke up. The broadcast is the prison. When the countdown reached 0, everything stopped. No sound, no wind, no movement. Even time felt suspended. Then the sky changed. Not dark, not blue, but a static gray void, like a broken television signal stretched across reality. Daniel realized something horrifying. This wasn't a forest. It was a controlled environment, a containment field. The radio activated one final time. The voice was clearer now, calm, almost emotional. "You think this is a place? It is not." Daniel stepped back. "What are you?" The voice answered. "We are a frequency that was imprisoned before your species learned sound. You call it a signal, but it is a doorway." The truth unfolded. Long before human technology, something had been trapped inside electromagnetic frequency itself. Not alive in a physical sense, but existing through signals. Human invention, radio waves, transmissions, wireless communication had accidentally given it a way back. Every device on Earth suddenly activated. Phones, TVs, cars, hospital systems, all screens turned black. Then, an eye formed in static, watching, everywhere at once. Daniel ran, but there was nowhere to go. The forest was gone. Only the tower remained. The voice spoke one last time. "Thank you for opening the door." The tower lights exploded silently. No sound, no shockwave, just disappearance. Black Hollow was erased from existence. No trace remained on maps, no records, no evidence, except one final recovered clip from Jake's camera. Final seconds. Static fills the screen. Then a face begins forming inside it, slowly, deliberately. And finally, it smiles. A voice whispers, "We are now everywhere."